Greetings, Elkhart Community Schools. In a recent letter sent to principals and superintendents by Indiana Secretary of Education, Dr. Katie Jenner, Dr. Jenner sought to clarify the position of the Indiana Department of Education regarding the teaching of critical race theory. She wrote that this framework is not appropriate for K-12 students and Indiana schools should not be teaching it. Elkhart Community Schools agrees and aligns our efforts for educational equity with the Indiana Department of Education. In addition, Elkhart Community Schools aligns with the Indiana Attorney General's Parent Bill of Rights. The mission of Elkhart Community Schools is captured in our Elkhart Promise. Every student is known by name, challenged and supported by highly effective staff, and in partnership with the community will graduate career, college-ready, and life-ready. In knowing every student by name, we as a school community need to know each student's story. We need to build relationships with each child and his or her support system at home. We need to help families understand how school works and provide access to resources that can ensure students' success and help students excel. We must address student academic, social, and emotional needs. We have to understand the context our students come from, and we have to understand our collective history as a city, a state, and a nation. We have to continually help students understand the place for their talents and skills in a more and more interconnected world. This work causes us as educators to reflect on our practices and assess how we can best know our students. This requires us to look at performance data for all our demographic groups, as well as analyze what discipline or special education information tells us about our treatment of all of our students. We have to ask if the learning experiences we engage in and the materials we use to instruct our students truly reflect our students' experiences. We have to have an awareness of the effects of personal adverse experiences as well as larger social structures on students and their families. And even as we make every effort to know students, we need to practice empathy to realize that we may not have the complete picture for all our students and their families. Ultimately, we have to reflect on how our teaching and our policies and practices are for the good of all students. Sometimes as we hold up the mirror, we discover truths that require us to adjust our thinking and develop a greater understanding. We must have and need historical perspectives and cultural competencies that help us understand our students in this place and at this time. Knowing students by name is individualized and personal. Any effort to lump people into a collective group and attribute characteristics to that group based on generalizations or stereotypes has no place in knowing students by name. Efforts we take to build understanding have to be rooted in reflection and respect and restoration of the individual, with the goal of doing our best for each person's unique dignity. Therefore, as a district, Elkhart Community Schools has not adopted nor endorsed critical race theory. Instead, our work on social and emotional learning, SEL, is foundational to help prepare students and staff for rigorous academic achievement. We have centered our SEL efforts on the 5 CASEL competencies of self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. Our expectations for student behavior center on the positive support for the characteristics represented by the PRIDE acronym: persistence, respect, initiative, dependability, and efficiency. Knowing and developing each student around these core concepts means they are best prepared to then engage in rigorous learning as we emerge from the pandemic. This will help us ensure that we reach our vision that all students are guaranteed a challenging, fair, and equitable education, not only helping them reach growth expectations on state academic standards, but also developing their talents and skills and mindsets to meet the challenges of an ever-changing world. Thank you.